What a fucking song.
Oh, man. We were just listening to a song. This is kind of a London story, but it's really a Rome story, right?
The worst city on earth, but yes, it is Rome City.
That's a, yeah. When we were studying abroad in London, we got a week off, and we spent 8
a week
days...
off, hold on. A week off of literally not working, though? So...
Yeah. We spent 8 days in Italy, and we kind of finished
We conquered Italy.
Oh, we did pretty much everything you can do in Italy, I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure.
The 3 cities we went to are the only 3 cities that matter there. I think that's officially...
I'm pretty sure there's only 3 cities in Italy.
I think that's factual. I think that's a trivia question.
I think that's true. Yeah. It's like it's a trivia question that stumps a lot of people. They would assume with a landmass that size
that there would be multiple cities.
But there's
More
only
than
3.
There's only 3.
Only 3.
Facts.
And we went to all 3 of them.
And one of them, we were in a pizza shop, and we heard a song there. But oh my god, the pizza shop literally played the song on repeat.
Yeah, I think they were trying to be cool. Like a lot of when we were abroad, I noticed, I'm sure you noticed, was a lot of it was trying to be American cool.
Yeah.
A lot of people are trying
and
to
they failed.
Yeah, so their attempt at that was playing this one techno sounding song literally just on repeat. There wasn't a second song.
Techno Latino rap. That's what it felt like to me.
Yeah, I think it was actually an Italian artist. We looked it up later.
Oh, was it? We did look it up.
Wait, what was their name?
Takata? No, Taco Bro. Taco Bro?
I think the artist's name is Taco Bro, and the song that
Taco Bro.
They played on repeat was Takata. And they just, we went to that pizza shop for lunch. Do you want to play a little bit?
I do want to play a little bit.
Let's play a little bit for our fans. So just imagine this over and over again. The whole time we were there, we went to
We were there for about 30 minutes.
Yeah. And so we thought that was pretty strange. And then we went off. It's just so funny. It just brings back to so awful memories. This song was stuck in my head for weeks.
Weeks. I don't, Alright, I'm gonna turn off now.
Yeah.
That's literally the entire song.
Over and over again.
We first heard it and we're like, that's straight up awful.
Yeah.
And then it grew on us. And then about 20 minutes in, we hated it again.
Yeah.
And then by the time we left, it really had a special place in our heart.
Right. And the best part, though, was, if you remember, we left, we just ate lunch there real quick. We left and did Rome things, and on our way back to where we were staying, we intentionally walked by that pizza place again, see if they're still playing it, and they were.
They were.
It was 6 hours later.
I pity those workers.
Yeah, I can imagine.
That is cruelty.
Yeah. Welcome back.
Welcome to Drinking, but it's been a long time since we were recorded.
It feels fresh. We're back with episode 7.
Wow.
Yeah.
Time flies.
Back with no more pre-records, at least for
now.
now. Yeah. Noah had his big grand adventure in the Middle East. So we had to pre-record a few.
Oh boy.
There's going to be some stories out of that, I'm sure.
Oh, absolutely. Most of them depressing. But the one later today will not be depressing. Well, it's depressing for me.
Okay.
It's funny for everybody else.
Okay. Make sure you follow us on Twitter, if you have not already, at DBuddiesPod.
At DBuddiesPod.
Like us on Facebook.
Tell your friends.
Share our page. You can find our podcast and subscribe on iTunes, Stitcher, Pocket Cast, Castbox, The Works. We're putting out some great stuff for you guys.
Check out our
Spotify playlist if you want to catch up and just listen to a mix of all the obscure bands we've named on this show.
Absolutely.
I listen to it sometimes just to see how it is.
Same? I don't.
You don't.
No,
You don't really use
I don't do Spotify though, so.
I didn't, but I kind of got into it more lately.
Everybody likes it, so I assume it's cool, but I don't know. I'm just lazy.
Is it just laziness, or I wasn't sure if it was your hipster side or laziness?
It's mostly laziness, and also I do iTunes. Yeah, I'm one of the 10 people, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. This episode.
I apologize.
No, just spilled all over the floor.
I spilled legitimately 90% of my beer.
We're like 5 minutes into the podcast.
Alrighty. So what were you saying?
I was gonna say this episode is brought to you by Ninkasi, because I'm drinking a Ninkasi Red IPA. It's actually pretty good.
Does it really matter what I brought to the table? Because it's already gone.
Drinking water
Yeah.
from now on.
Oh boy.
Alrighty.
What a start.
You ready to get into this?
We might as well.
There's only one way to go, and that's forward.
Yeah.
Today, we're going to bring you our top 6 concerts we've ever attended.
Our second 6-pack of this short career.
Yeah, so coming at you fast. Would you like to start?
Absolutely.
All right.
Alrighty. So, number 6, I'm going Jake Bugg. I saw him live a few years ago. He sounded incredible, but he was incredibly boring to watch. So that's why he came in at number 6. There's another band, I can't remember the name of, who I saw earlier this year who was incredible. But again, I can't remember the name of. So that's why Jake Bugg is there. Oh shit, I forgot to say. Bob Dylan is a what's the term? Honorable mention.
Oh, okay.
Just because he's legendary. But
Yeah.
that is easily the worst concert I've ever been to.
Why is that?
He was just... It's obvious he smoked his entire life.
Yeah.
Like, it was... You could not understand a word he said.
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't understand any of his major songs except for, like, one.
Uh-huh.
But it was Bob Dylan, so, like...
I've heard that, like, a lot with, like, big bands. Sometimes they're just, like... They just have some shitty shows.
They're just so old.
I had this one teacher in high school who had this hilarious comment that, like, the best concert he's ever been to was Iron Maiden. And the worst concert he's ever been to was a different Iron Maiden concert. Because you couldn't hear anything.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Jake Bugg. Number 5 is Robert Plant. He played a fair amount of his Led Zeppelin, which
That's
is why
cool.
also,
I wouldn't expect that.
I wouldn't either. Yeah, like I actually got lucked into it. I was just chilling at home during the summer break watching Netflix because I'm super cool. Like
Summer break Noah style.
summer break, exactly. And my friend called me up. Was like, "Hey, my friend hit a lot of traffic and can't make it. He was like coming back from somewhere. Do you want to go to Robert Plant concert?" I was like, "Absolutely,
Yeah.
I do." So I randomly just got to see Robert Plant.
That's awesome.
He was
Okay.
he was solid.
All right.
Number 4, I saw a combo. I went for the opening act, which is Waters, and both of these bands are fairly unknown.
Yeah.
Could be obscure bands in the future. Who knows?
Okay.
Wink, wink.
I did some awesome editing when you said the name of the band that's going to be the obscure band this week.
You did do some
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah, they're very true. So Waters and Mr. Wives. Mr. Wives is an awesome band, and she, the lead singer, was clearly high on something, which I really appreciated.
Yeah.
But she also sounded incredible still. So yeah, that's my number 4. Number 3 is St. Paul and the Broken Bones. Like an incredible voice the guy has. It's like kind of gospel. He came out with like a gospel like kind of priest robe,
Okay.
and then shedded it after the opening song.
That's pretty sweet.
Great band, check them out. But also incredible live. And then number 2 and number 1. Number 2 is Paul McCartney,
Yeah.
who was he played all of his hits.
Right.
Not all of his hits, because it's the Beatles. They have so many fucking hits that you can't play all of them. He could have filled 2 concerts of only hits, and he would have. Don't get me started. Don't get me started on the Beatles. The Beatles are incredible. But Paul McCartney was fantastic. Yeah, he played a ton of hits. He sounded pretty good.
Yeah.
But number 1 is the one and only Bruce Springsteen.
Right.
I could have listed 3 I've seen Bruce 3 times, and all 3 of them are my 3 favorite concerts, but I'm only going to listen once.
Right.
Specifically the River Tour.
I heard that was killer.
It was killer. Well put.
Didn't go, unfortunately, but I don't know why I should have.
It was it was incredible. You can't explain it.
No, I've seen it. I'll get it. He's on my list as well. I saw him on a different tour, which is
Yeah.
probably why he's not number 1. But I mean, he's like the legendary performer, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, there's stories about him back in when he was young and like not famous, how he'd play for like 5 hours.
Yeah. I mean, I saw every time I've seen him, he's played for 3+ hours, and he's like plus 60 years old. I'm exhausted watching it. I can't imagine him playing it.
Dude, he is truly a performer, a legendary performer.
Alrighty, so that's my top 6.
All right, moving on to my list. Yours is definitely much more highbrow than mine.
I'm a classy person.
Yeah, you have Paul McCartney, Robert Plant, and Bruce Springsteen.
I'm cultured.
My list is not that highbrow, as highbrow. I'm gonna start with number 6. This is gonna be a surprising one. I'm gonna say it, and you're gonna get mad.
I probably will.
But they're kind of a guilty pleasure of mine. Some of their older music. Number 6, I have Panic at the Disco. Now, hear me out. Have you listened to their second album?
I have not.
Their second album was written almost exclusively by their guitarist, who left Panic at the Disco and started the Young Vanes, who's actually like a good man who you might actually like. And he took over that album, and he didn't let them write anything except just the stuff he wanted to. And that's a great album, and that was the tour they were on. They're actually pretty fun live.
I actually have heard that. I've heard they're very good live.
Yeah, so they didn't do this at the concert I went to, but they've started doing a Bohemian Rhapsody
Interesting.
version. Yeah, apparently it's pretty good. So I don't know. That's a new thing they're doing. But yeah, definitely their second album sounds way different than anything else they've done, and a lot of people haven't listened to it. And also check out the Young Vanes, because after that he left because he wanted to do his own thing. Number 5, again, this is another weird one, but there's a very specific reason for it. I saw a tag team concert of Marilyn Manson and Rob Zombie.
I don't know either of those, actually.
You've never heard the names, at least? Marilyn Manson? He's like notorious.
No,
He opened. He was okay. But Rob Zombie has this guitarist, and his stage name is John 5. He's just like metal guitarist, but he's really, really good. And also, weird fact about him, he has like the biggest collection of Telecaster guitars in the world, which is just weird because he's a metal guitarist.
Yeah.
And Fender actually made him his own like metal Telecaster. But he was awesome to see live. He did because they just let him do like a solo for like 10 minutes, and it was nuts.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, so that was fun. Number 4, this was back in his heyday, old school Matisyahu, the reggae hip hop Jewish singer.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've never heard of him, but that description. Wow.
He's pretty fun. He was fun back in the day. And it was actually, he used to have like the whole beard and everything, like the Hasidic Jew beard.
Yeah.
And he shaved it. He like kind of went more Reformed Jewish. And it was like a big controversy. And it was actually like the second show after he shaved his beard was the one I went to. So yeah, it was pretty cool. Number 3, I put Bruce.
Wait, Bruce is number 3 for you?
Yeah,
I thought you said he was number 2.
I didn't say. I just said he wasn't number 1.
I just assumed he was number 2 because he is better than everybody else on your list.
Yeah, well.
Wow, I'm offended personally.
I mean, I'll try and explain it, but yeah, I didn't see him at the River Tour. I saw he was supporting one of his later albums. Also, there's probably some like a little recency by it, even though the 2 above it weren't like that recent. But
yeah.
I definitely.
Did you see Bruce when Clarence Thomas was still around?
Yes.
All right.
It was one of his last. I think
he got much better. I mean, it sounds bad once Clarence passed, because Clarence's nephew came around.
Yeah.
And that brought so much energy. It was ridiculous.
I think it might have been Clarence's last tour.
Yeah.
Because it was like 2008, 2009, something like that. But I mean, he was great. Like my
goddamn legend.
Yeah, I mean, like he was. It wasn't his premier tour, but it was still one of the definitely one of the top 3 concerts. And all the last 3 are all like. There's definitely a gap between my bottom 4.
Yeah.
Or not my bottom 3 and my top 3. There's a pretty significant gap, and so I just want to make that clear, right off the bat. Before I get into my top 2, because I've hyped them up so much at this point, I will say an honorable mention. Motley Crue. I saw them.
You saw Motley Crue.
They're pretty fun, and there's a ton of fire in their show.
Oh,
There's so
I
much
imagine
fire.
it's all fire.
It's mostly fire.
It's-
And they had like this weird rig where the drummer, I'm forgetting his name, it's Tommy Lee Jones, something like that. He like elevated and like went over the crowd. It was nuts.
That's a Motley Crue thing to do.
Oh,
I
absolutely.
imagine like 3 of their songs are fantastic.
They're
And
good.
then the rest is like, eh.
Yeah, 3 of their songs are great. The rest of their songs, studio versions are but live is always better. So
Yeah, that's true.
live, a lot of their songs were good. And Alice Cooper opened for them.
That's a fun concert.
Yeah, that was a real fun concert, and he was really good actually. Just like, because I wasn't expecting much. It's like he's so old,
Yeah.
and he's like opening for Motley Crue, which, I just feel like that's just that says something about like how your performance level is. But no, he was really good, and he was fun. That was a fun concert. It was a fun duo.
Yeah.
Okay, my number 2 is the Melvins.
You do love the Melvins.
They
Okay.
are. I can't believe we made it to 7 episodes before I talked about the Melvins.
It's surprising.
I mean, what's there to say about the Melvins? They pretty much
So much.
they started grunge. They bridged the gap between punk and alt. They are the only reason Nirvana exists. So if you like Nirvana, you have to like the Melvins.
The single reason.
Yes, they are. Kurt Cobain learned guitar because he wanted to be in the Melvins.
Yeah.
He was friends with he was like a few years younger than them. They went to the same high school, and he like
did know
worshipped.
that. I
Yeah,
did
he
know
like
that.
worshipped them. And there's like one of the single most like expensive music history pieces at auctions is the Melvins' old like touring bus. It's like a VW bus. And it's so expensive because Kurt Cobain like drew in it because he hung out with them all the time.
Oh,
So there's a
I
bunch of like
didn't-
Kurt Cobain doodles on like the side of the bus. Yeah, so that's a real thing. Also, another reason why they're the reason Nirvana happened is Kurt Cobain, when he realized he couldn't join the Melvins, wanted to start his own band, and they asked him if they knew any drummers, and they said, yeah, there's this really cool guy in San Francisco named Dave Grohl. You should meet him. And he did, and they started Nirvana.
Well,
So,
no doubt a big influence. But
yeah.
I mean, you got the Pixies. They weren't the only.
But the
influence.
Pixies were like one of the influences of the Melvins, I guess.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like, and like the Nirvana's best album is Bleach, in my opinion. I think a lot of people agree with that. And that album is literally a Melvins ripoff. Like I don't get mad about ripoffs. Like some people, like all music's derivative.
Yeah.
So it doesn't like make me upset. But like no one talks about how that is just a Melvins ripoff. It was Nirvana. It was Kurt Cobain living out his Melvins dream, and that was their best album. So
Yeah.
that's my Melvins rant. I
It
saw
had to happen eventually.
I saw them live. They were amazing. They didn't say a single word to the audience the entire show. They didn't stop playing the entire show.
I kind of like that.
It was
though.
music wall to wall. They didn't say anything. They didn't really acknowledge the audience. At the end, the only time King Buzz, like their lead guitarist and lead singer, acknowledged the audience was he gave a thumbs up when he finished playing like the last song, and he walked off stage.
How kind.
That was it.
That was it.
And he was the first to go. Like he was done, but like the rest of the band like kept playing because it was like a fade out, I guess. Yeah, and they just like left when they were done. It was awesome. It was like the closest you could get to like actually being in like a '90s club show.
Yeah.
Is going
If
to a
only.
Melvin show because it was like that's what it felt like.
Yeah.
Um,
That does sound fun.
that's why I put it so high. Is because that's just what it's kind of had that aura of it. And yeah, it's just wall to wall sound. There's no other. I can't really say music. It was just sound, like constant. They were playing in between songs. They just played. They also like if you see them live, they sound way different live than in the studio, like most bands. But they sound like significantly better live than in the
Yeah.
studio. And also they like King Buzzo kind of he didn't invent this, but he kind of made it popular. The idea of that like playing songs live, you just do it based on like the studio version of songs are more of an outline for them than like how you're supposed to play it.
Bob Dylan actually does it a lot.
They're definitely not the first.
His songs in concert vary a ton.
Yeah,
he used to do every song. Now his big hits, he'll like stick to script.
Yeah,
just to please the audience.
Yeah,
quote unquote please, because it's so bad. But yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, but the Melvins kind of have that thing going on. So that was a great concert. And then my number one is Twisted Grin. I'm kidding. That's the band I was in high school.
Subtle shout out.
No, my number one concert I've ever been to was Rush. I saw them at Red Rocks Amphitheater in Colorado. If you don't know what that is, look it up. It's like a really cool, unique concert venue. And I saw them there, and they played Moving Pictures straight through for the first half. They played like hits, and then they took like a brief intermission, and the second half was Moving Pictures and like Neil Peart drum solo. He also doesn't play live anymore.
Yeah.
So like I saw one of the last tours with him live, and he did like a 10-minute thing, just him.
The most incredible drummer of all time.
Yeah. So that's why it's my number one.
Yeah. So I took bass clef in high school. I was in a choir. There was the non-audition choir because I'm awful at singing.
Right.
But my teacher would go on a lot of stories, and he said the best concert he's ever been to was Rush. And he honestly would talk about this like once a month of how incredible they are live.
They're just three weird dudes.
They are.
Who just make a lot of sound for three dudes.
One of the most talented bands of all time. They're ridiculous.
They're way underrated.
So underrated. The best Canada has to offer.
Yeah, I could see that. One of the things that makes me more mad than anything else I hear about, like when people make music comments, like there's like the popular ones that people like to latch onto, like how all of AC/DC songs are the same, which yes, after a certain point that happened, but like the early stuff wasn't. And so like that's an example. But the one that makes me the most mad is that Rush is only good because of their drummer and bassist. Alex Lifeson is one of the best guitarists of all time.
He's a great, he shreds.
No one gives that man credit, but they're all good.
You know who's an incredible guitarist? Robert Johnson. We've talked about him briefly.
Yeah, outside the podcast. No, that man does not get enough love.
It is ridiculous. Like it sounds like two guitarists plays.
No one knows how to play him. Like.
No. Okay, to clarify for the listeners,
yeah.
all 10 of them left.
Yeah.
He's a Delta blues guitarist from like the 20s and 30s.
Yeah.
He recorded like twice in his life.
Yeah.
But he's absolutely incredible. He's inspired all of the big guitarists. Like he inspired
Clapton.
Jimmy Clapton.
Yeah.
A little bit of Jimmy Page.
Yeah.
He is ridiculous.
He's one of those guys where you listen to it and you're like, that's okay. But like if you ever actually tried to play him, it's impossible because he made up his own tunings. He doesn't use like standard guitar tunings. He just made them up and he just played his own way. And he's just, he only recorded twice. And they're both like he just recorded in some office room.
Yeah, it sounds like he just like set up a mic and then sang and played guitar.
This is a spoiler. If we ever do a top 6 like albums we own, the best vinyl album I own is a collection of Robert Johnson recordings.
I didn't realize you owned. I did actually. You told me.
Yeah. But it's the best thing I own on vinyl. It's one of those albums. Actually, it sounds like it's made for vinyl because it's just so old. Or like
I didn't listen to that.
It's so good. He's good. Would you like to move to fuck this thing?
I would.
I
think you should start though.
I'm gonna start.
I'm gonna go on for a little bit.
Mine is something you guys probably know because we've talked about it that we're graduating soon, and so part of that means you have to start applying for jobs, which means you have to start interacting with recruiters, corporate recruiters, like at companies who work with human resources. My fuck this thing this week is people who spell my name wrong. Now I wanna qualify this. I'm not one of those assholes who I spell my name. My name's Eric. It's spelled E-R-I-K, and I understand that the common spelling is E-R-I-C. I fully accept that. I'm not upset. Like, if I verbally tell you my name's Eric and you just have to, like, if you're, like, writing it down, or, like, if I'm ordering at, like, Starbucks, I expect it to be written ERIC. It's, like, it's always a plus. And it's always kind of weird. Like, why'd you guess that it's a K when they actually do it? It's, like, almost suspicious at that point. But I that doesn't upset me at all.
Yeah.
What upsets me is when I email people, like and this happened with the recruiter just the other day. We're emailing back and forth, and I sign my emails, thanks, Eric. I spell it.
With a K.
With a K. I spell it correctly when I sign off. And furthermore, it's actually in my email. They have to type ERIK to email me. And they'll still respond, "Hi, Eric," with a C. It's just, come on, how defiant do you have to be? It's just like you're actively just trying to piss me off at that point. It's not even an accident. You had to type it. You had to type my name with a K once. You had to. You've seen it at least twice because it's in my email and it's in the email I sent you. It's like, come on. If you see it in writing, just get it right. I'm not going to get upset at the Starbucks guy for writing ERIC on my Starbucks cup. Wow. But if I email you and I sign off, thanks, Eric, with a K, if I spell it wrong, it's fair game. But I don't usually spell my name wrong.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
You didn't tell me that before we recorded, and I'm so glad you didn't, because that was one of the best fuck this things of all time. That's fantastic.
Man.
All right.
Grinds my gears.
Wow. Okay, so my fuck this thing, we mentioned earlier that I was in the Middle East, so I was in Palestine, and jet lag hits you like a goddamn brick.
Yeah.
It is brutal, at least for me it is. And we, so I went with my grandmother, my cousin, and then the second day we were there, we went to some refugee camp, which has another story, but it's not as fun. And then we got back and we had to listen to it. Was a conference. I went to a conference. So we listened to a lecture, and during the Q&As, we were like, let's go nap. We're fucking exhausted.
Yeah.
Let's just go sleep for a little bit. And we try to leave. Some lady at the front desk is like, there's a very important announcement, so can you just stay for a little bit, hear the announcement? And we're like, but we're really tired. And he was like, okay, at least one of you stays, and then you can tell the others. Being the gentleman and the good person that I am, I volunteer. I'm like, I'll stay. That
was your first mistake.
It was a brutal mistake. I thought it was only be like 5, maybe 10 minutes.
Right.
It wasn't 5 or 10 minutes. God damn it wasn't. So I go sit down. The Q&A goes on for another 10 goddamn minutes, which is ridiculous. How many goddamn questions do you have? Jesus. Oh my God. So the Q&A goes on for a while, and I'm dying inside every second. And it finally ends. The lady who's in charge walks up. I'm ready. Give me the goddamn special announcement.
Yeah.
And she says, we're going to take a 20-minute break. No, it's 15. It lasted 20 minutes, though. We're going to take a 15-minute break, and then we're going to have a special surprise, and then we'll tell you a very important announcement. 20 minutes later, I'm just on my phone, sitting on the toilet the whole time, so I don't want to talk to anybody because I'm fucking exhausted.
Yeah.
So 20 minutes later, we get back, and the special surprise starts. Guess what the goddamn special surprise was? It was a 30-minute one-man play. That is not a goddamn 30 fucking minutes.
At a peace conference, what was it?
It was about some dude who had a farm, and he got kicked off of his farm. And Jesus, god damn it. It was a giant metaphor for, like, the Palestinian and Iraq. But it was so... Israel, sorry. It was so fucking boring. And it was so bad. And it was a one-man play. God damn it.
That's like... One-man plays are something that, like, celebrities do, like, when they're past their prime, though.
Yeah.
Like, they're big stars. Like Tom Cruise is going to do some one-man plays in, like,
no
20
doubt.
years.
Yeah.
You watch. He's going to do it. Because we saw, like, that was the funniest thing, was we would see, like, one-man plays pop up, advertisements for him in London.
Yeah.
They'd do them on there, but yeah.
And let me tell you, one-man play is as shitty as it fucking sounds. It was awful. And it was 30 minutes. Oh, Jesus Christ.
So now we're like 20 or 50 minutes removed.
About 15 minutes removed
with
from
like
when I was
20-minute
about to
break,
sleep.
20-minute break, and then 30-minute.
And the announcement was actually pretty important, but the person who was telling us the announcement went on for about 10 minutes.
Okay.
So about an hour after I was supposed to go to bed,
Yeah.
I walk upstairs and I see my grandmother and my cousin fast asleep on my bed.
I'm sure you're a big fan of them at that
Oh,
point.
jeez, I was so bitter. And I told them, and I let them know for the rest of the week.
I've seen Noah like have sleep resentment before.
I'm not a good person when I don't have enough sleep. I'm a really big jerk, actually. I think anybody can attest to that.
Yeah, my favorite. Like I remember when we were in London, you went to Paris. I didn't go, but you just went on a weekend trip. Like you were there for like 14 hours.
Yeah.
And you took like a bus to a ferry to another bus. Like it didn't.
Oh, that's another fuck this thing. I'll talk about that another time.
Yeah, but the point is, at the end of the day, he was up. How long were you actually awake for, and how much sleep did you get in that time?
Not a lot and too many fucking hours. That was brutal.
Anyway, he came back to our room in London at like 7 a.m, and I just saw the look of just sheer rage in your eye when you just saw me just laying in my bed.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh boy.
That's a good one. That's a good fuck this thing.
Another not fuck this thing. So I was there and I went to I met a Palestinian woman who we were talking and she was like, "Hey, you look like a celebrity, an American celebrity." And I was like, "Really? Like, I don't know, Carrot Top or Ed Sheeran?" And she said Leonardo DiCaprio.
Wow.
So
you got hit on.
I know. Yeah, so only refer to me as Leo from now on.
All right, Leo, would you like to move on to obscure band?
I would. Yes.
I'm gonna do the obscure band this week, and I'm gonna make it the band that I masterfully bleeped out of our previous episode. It's the band that I told Noah about, and they played the Crystal Ballroom a couple days before. Their name is Deep Valley. They're an LA band. They're a two-piece. They kind of have like a certain elements of the White Stripes sound because they are a two-piece probably, and it's like only
Kind of got a garage rock band feel.
yeah. But they're pretty good. Fun fact about them is they actually met in like a crochet class.
That is a good fact.
Yeah, it's weird.
I had a lot of fun listening to it.
They're good. They have their latest album's called Femigism. It's good. You should listen to it.
They're badass.
Yeah, no, that's the one would describe them. It's badass. They have some killer songs. We will put them on the Spotify playlist, which you should check out.
Check out, share.
We're all about sharing. You have anything else to add this week?
I don't think so.
All right. Well, with that, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, subscribe, tell a friend, tell 5 friends. We should make a reward for if anyone like actually makes a friend subscribe.
Oh, we should.
We'll think of something.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, definitely do that. And have a great week, everybody.
Have a good week. Bitchy bitch.